Ohio, the
15th Putnam County Pioneer Days Parade here in Kalida. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Kalida. I'm Kevin Kidd.
And I'm Tim Wary.
Together we will be your announcers for this afternoon's parade. All of us are looking forward to a fun-filled afternoon with high school marching bands, floats, baton twirlers, commercial equipment, politicians, antique and classic cars, and many other parade participants. As with any parade, we ask parents to please help keep the children off of the streets during the parade. This is a fast-moving parade, and all of us certainly do not want to have a tragedy dampen the spirit of Pioneer Days. So please, parents, help us all to have a safe and enjoyable parade. This year's theme for the parade is 200 Years of Freedom under the United States Constitution and the Northwest Ordinance of 1787. The parade has started at the Kalida Ballpark and the St. Michael's Elementary School on 4th Street. It will travel southwest on 4th Street for 4 blocks. The parade route makes a right-hand turn onto Water Street for 1 block, then makes another right-hand turn traveling northeast along Broad Street. The parade participants will continue past the town square, the town hall and fire station, and will continue past St. Michael's Catholic Church, where it will make another right-hand turn and finish where it started at the elementary school. You know, people may wonder where the money goes that's made by the 2 sponsors of the Pioneer Days celebration, the Kalida Lions and the Volunteer Fire Department. No, it doesn't go towards aid to the Contras or a Swiss bank account. It does go, however, to updating fire equipment and maintaining the beautiful Kalida Community Park. The Lions Club also uses the money to support their many fine projects, including fighting drug abuse. The fire department must also maintain their life-saving equipment and use money to train volunteers. Many other church and service organizations who have concession stands here are also able to benefit from the many people who come to the Pioneer Days celebration, so that these organizations can continue to provide both civic and spiritual service to area people.
Along with the fire department is the EMS, and a lot of the firemen are also EMS members. And the EMS, the Kalida EMS, is going to have a chicken barbecue on October 11th. It's you can dine from 11 o'clock a.m. till 6 o'clock. It's at the Kalida Fire Station. They have barbecued chickens, beans, slaw, coffee, or pop. Adults, $4. Children at 12 years of age and under, $2.50. Advance tickets are available. They will very much appreciate your support. There has also been some interest shown in starting an athletic boosters club. With this in mind, there will be a meeting at the Kalida Local Schools Athletic Boosters Club on Tuesday, September 15th, 1987 at 7:30 p.m. in the high school library. Anyone interested in helping to expand athletics in the Kalida school system is urged to attend this meeting. This club is being organized to help support athletic activities for grade school and high school students. I'd like to make one other announcement at this time. Dave Buss. Dave Buss, you are wanted at the Holy Name Stand. Speaking of the Holy Name Stand, if you're hungry for a hamburger, they have the good greasy hamburgers offered there at the Holy Name Stand. They're the real good kinds, even better than Wendy's.
Thanks, Tim. The people responsible for coordinating this year's Pioneer Days are the chairmen. This year from the Lions Club are Tim Wary, who I'm fortunate and honored to sit aside with this afternoon, and Harry Horseman. Representing the Kalida Volunteer Fire Department are Joe Selhorst and Glenn Fortman. These gentlemen have spent a lot of their free time with meetings and organizing another successful Pioneer Days. You know, everyone who has come to the Pioneer Days these past 4 days certainly should receive thanks. Without you fine people coming to Kalida, there would be no Pioneer Days. The spirit and intent of the Pioneer Days has been to bring people together. And I think, Tim, with this fine crowd today, that spirit certainly has continued.
I'd have to agree with that, Kevin. We're anticipating around 10,000 people here this afternoon in Kalida to view the parade. And after the parade, you can enjoy all kinds of concessions. And there's all kinds of rides sponsored by the Carpenter Brothers. And some of the concessions are sponsored by the Stevens concession stands.
After the parade, remember to stop at the big ticket booth located on the square to purchase tickets for the drawing tonight at 9 p.m. Tickets are $5 for 6 or $1 a piece. So if you want to have a chance at winning some of the $2,500 that's going to be given away this evening, please stop by and buy a ticket.
We're going to have to ask you people to please remember to step back away from the road. Don't get too close to the road when the parade comes, because there are some units that are fairly wide. And parents, I'd also like to remind you to please hang on to your youngsters. As Kevin said earlier, we don't want anyone to get hurt and ruin the spirit of the Pioneer Days. Even though we have an outstanding fire department here in Kalida and just as good EMS unit, we hate to run anybody to the hospital this afternoon.
This afternoon after the parade, Soundwave will be performing at the dance tent from 3 till 6 p.m. So stop by to hear the latest hits and enjoy their music.
At this time, we'd like to welcome all of the out-of-town guests here this afternoon to view the parade. Thank you very much for coming out. We appreciate all your support. And as Kevin said earlier, a lot of the money that is made here at Pioneer Days doesn't just stay in Kalida, but it goes out to the entire county. So thank you very much for all the other Putnam County residents that came out and all your other county residents that came out. Thank you very much for showing up. Your presence makes Pioneer a lot more enjoyable for everyone. This is really a beautiful day for a parade this afternoon. There's just that little bit of a breeze so it doesn't get too hot, and the sunshine is gorgeous. What's the temperature out, you think, Kevin? What's your guess?
I'd say around 75 or so.
That's beautiful parade weather. Makes the refreshments taste that much better.
And the tradition continues that for the Sunday afternoon parade, it has never rained upon this parade, and it looks like it will continue that tradition this afternoon.
That'd be a good name for a song, Don't Rain on My Parade. Have any aspiring artists out there? Maybe you can think of a song to go with that. Nobody but nobody's gonna rain on my parade.
And leading the parade is the town fire marshal, police marshal, Walter Butch Coles.
Glad to see you, Butch. Thanks for showing up. Let's hear that siren, Butch. Also with Butch are a couple of the county sheriffs. There's Sheriff Deemer. Glad to see you here, Sheriff Deemer. Let's hear the sirens, boys. That way we know it works for sure. Following the police chief and the county sheriff's department is the Kalida EMS. Chris Phillips is the chairman of the EMS, or is the chairman of the EMS, and we here in Kalida are very proud of the EMS. I know they've helped me out several times.
And now in front of us is the Post 63 American Legion from Ottawa.
Thank you for showing up, gentlemen. And thank you for all your service in the past. And immediately following them is the Kalida High School Marching Band, under the direction of Mr. Charles Myers and his wife, Beth. We here in Kalida are very proud of our marching band. As Kevin read earlier, they won several awards last year, and they're going to be participating in quite a few contests this fall. Mr. and Mrs. Myers does a very nice job with the kids, and everyone here in Kalida is very happy they're a part of it. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for going through the parade. Also in back of the band is the Kalida Band Boosters.
Following the Wildcat Marching Band are the Pioneer Chairmen for this year's Pioneer Days. This year from the Lions Club are Tim Wary and Harry Horseman, and the Fire Department representatives are Joe Selhorst and Glenn Fortman. Thanks, guys, for your efforts and hard work this year.
Immediately following the Pioneer Committee is the mayor, the clerk, and the solicitor. Mayor Tom Neese and clerk Denny Canott with Beezer.
Behind the mayor, as always, is the village council. Dale Ramp. Nice to see you, Dale.
Who else is in there? We can't see everybody.
And Dan Ellebrock?
I think so.
Dan Vorst also, and Dick Buckrath.
And the Board of
And
Public
Vicky
Affairs. Excuse me, Kevin. And the Board of Public Affairs, Roger Dickman, and I can't see who's driving the vehicle. And Carl Fortman.
Kalida Lions Club float following. Kalida Lions, one of the co-sponsors of this year's Pioneer Days celebration.
And following the Kalida Lions Club is the Kalida EMS, Friends Helping Friends. And I'm proud to say I have several friends on the Kalida EMS. I hope they consider me the same way.
The Putnam County Historical Society is next.
And the first tractor through the parade today is a 1938 Farmall F-14, driven by Ron Osting from Fort Jennings. It's owned and restored by Wilford Osting of Delphus, Ohio.
And next to that, following that is a tractor, a 1936 tractor of a Farmall Model F-12, driven by Dennis Osting and owned also by Wilford Osting.
And immediately following the tractors is our County Commissioner, Mr. Neese. Thank you very much for showing up, Mr. Neese. That's a beautiful car. I've always wanted one like that. Don't leave your keys in it.
Another county commissioner following Mr. Neese is Alvin Dick Schrader. Thanks for coming, Dick.
Coming up next is the Putnam County Mayors Association. Regina Schimler's in the in the passenger side. I can't see who's driving it.
And there's our congressman from the 5th District, United States Representative Delbert Latta. Thanks for coming again, Del.
And the Lima area Ronald McDonald House of Columbus and Toledo. It's home away from home for families of the sick children in the hospital. They will be at the fire station for a benefit raffle at the end of the parade. All proceeds to go to the Ronald McDonald House. Hi, Ronald. Right here, Ronald. Thank you for coming over. You're welcome.
Following Ronald McDonald House is a 1969 XL convertible Ford, driven and owned by Frank Gudekans. Thanks for coming, Frank.
And following that is vehicle number 2, which is a 1952 Studebaker truck, farm truck. From Fort Jennings, Ohio, it's Gib Liebrecht's truck. Thank you for coming over, Gib. It's a beautiful truck.
And right behind the Studebaker is a 1979 Dodge pickup, the Little Red Express, driven and owned by Bob Warren from Columbus Grove. Hi, Bob.
And following that is a 1973 Studebaker GT Hawk. Owner's name is Ralph Nolt from Delphus, Ohio. Thanks for coming over, Ralph. Thank you.
And here's a Sharp 82 Chevrolet Z28, driven and owned by Darren Verhoff.
And one of the very first floats to come through the parade is the Catholic Ladies of Columbia, the CLC here in Kalida, Ohio. Thank you very much for putting a float through the parade, ladies.
The next float is the Girl Scouts Kalida Troop 506. Troop number 214 and also troop number 469.
And following the Girl Scouts, we have the Kalida Go-Getters, a 4-H group here in Kalida, raking in the benefits of 200 years of freedom to make the best better. Thank you very much, Go-Getters, for coming over. Yeah.
Here's the Boy Scouts float, 200 years of freedom for the U.S. Constitution. Mike Colley, the advisor.
And immediately following them are the Putnam County Pony League champs. These guys won the champs, and they won a championship at Cedar Creek in Salina, Ohio. They won the Cedar Championship in Salina, Ohio. Congratulations, guys. You did a fine job for us. Thanks for coming over.
Behind the Pony League is Cub Scout Pack 221. Advisor is Lou Yellowbrock.
And immediately following the Kalida Cub Scouts are the Kalida JCs, who is recently a new organization here in town. Thank you guys for joining up, and good luck, continued success to you fellas. They're celebrating the Northwest Territory of 1787.
Following the JCs is the 4-H Club float, a beautiful float, born in the land of freedom. Fantastic.
And following them are the VFW and the VFW Auxiliary. Thank you for coming over. How was that? Kaboom! Boy, that's loud, Kevin.
What did you say, Tim? Finally, auxiliary is the Big Green Ottoville High School Marching Band.
And following the Big Green Marching Band is Susie's Sunshine Strutters in Ottoville, Ohio. Thank you, ladies, for coming over. As it looks here, Susie ranges instructs kids from real little on. There's a real little girl in the middle. I'm going to guess her to be about 2 years old, wouldn't you say, Kevin, or 3? Up to high school age students. 3 years old? She's 3 years old.
This car is a Dodge Polara 1965 car, driven and owned by Don Bear from Findlay. Thanks for coming from Findlay, Don.
And following that is car number 7, a 1959 Etzel Ranger 4-door, driven and owned by Glenn Miller, Cherry Street, Findlay, Ohio.
And here's a classic, Tim, a 1928 Ford Roadster, driven and owned by Rick Mag from Fort Jennings.
And immediately, oh, sounds fast to me, but don't go too fast. And following that is car number 9, a 1967 Ford Fairlane GTA convertible, owned and operated by Butch Karras, Ottoville. Thank you for coming over, Butch. I have to admit, I like convertibles better than all the other ones.
Car number 10 is a beautiful car, a 1930 Lincoln 3-window limo.
That looks like it. Oops, go ahead, Kevin.
Owned and driven by Clayton Mag from Lipstick, Ohio.
That looks like that came right out of Bonnie and Clyde.
It sure does, Tim.
Following them are the Knights of Columbus, Findlay, Ohio. The Pope Leo the 13th Assembly. Hi, Ron. Nice to see you. You're looking good today. Enjoying the sunshine? And Norman Vondrams, a fellow Lions member.
Following the Knights of Columbus is the Right to Life float, the Putnam County Right to Life. We speak for those who can't. There'll be a dance for life Sunday, November 1st, 5:30 to 9 at the Ottawa KSC Hall.
Have you ever seen so many clowns in your life? And following them, the St. Joseph Catholic Church in Fort Jennings, Ohio. And the tractor is donated by the Holcamp Fortman Company.
Following St. Joseph's Church is Ricochet, and he's having a ball, looks like. Appreciate his participation in this year's parade.
Thanks, Rick. And following him are the Comets. Co-sponsored by Post what, Kevin? 63 in
American Legion, Ottawa.
He can read a lot better than me in the American Legion in Ottawa. Thank you for coming over, ladies and gentlemen.
Car number 11 is a 1968 Chevrolet Impala convertible, driven and owned by Dennis Schrader from Leipzig. Thanks for coming over, Denny.
Car number 12, a 1987 Chevrolet S10 pickup truck, owned and operated by Bill Thornton, Pandora, Ohio. Thanks for coming over, Bill.
Truck number 13 is another Little Red Express, a 1979 Dodge, driven and owned by Bruce Lobenthal from Ottawa.
Following that, car number 14 is a 1958 Imperial Crown. It has an original 392 Hemi engine in it, owned and driven by Randy Wary, Fort Jennings, Ohio.
Car number 15 is a 1966 Imperial Crown, driven by Dan Wary and owned again by Randy Wary from Fort Jennings.
And car number 16 is a 1968 Imperial Crown Coupe, owned by Randy Wary, driven by Hube Wary, Fort Jennings, Ohio.
This is the Putnam County Explorers Post 253.
Following them are the Putnam County Dive Team and Search Rescue. They're a part of the Sheriff's Department, and they're here to help all.
The advisors of Post 253 are Joyce Klein, Ethel Vaughn, and Sheldon Brenneman. The next float is the Continental Lions Club from Continental, Ohio, handing out some goodies to the kids. Thanks for coming over, guys.
Kevin, your kid should be here. Your son David should be here to get some of that candy.
And they say they build small cars now. Good horn, good horn.
And following them are the Columbus Grove Lions Club, celebrating liberty, intelligence, our nation's safety. The Lions Club from Columbus Grove. Thanks for coming over, fellas.
Following that is a very worthwhile organization, the American Cancer Society, Mouse to College. Buy a mouse and send to college, raising funds for cancer. Okay.
This is the DuPont Continental Boy Scout Troop. Thanks for coming over, fellas. Advisor Bob Heinischer.
Coming up is the Black Angus Burton Bernie's float with Spark Simon and Race Banner from 92 Zoo.
Hi, Spuds McKenzie. Glad you're here, Spuds. Party down, folks. Be careful.
We want to send a big 92 Zoo hello out there, you folks. How you doing? Please, let's get a picture of those beautiful people. There they go.
I think they're in the mood to party down. Car number 17 is a 1923 Model T Roadster, driven and owned by Irvin D. Tramplin Jr. from Grover Hill, Ohio. And there's my neighbor, Tony Hermiller.
Car number 18 is a 1931 two-door Fenton convertible Model A, completely owned by Roger Homeyer and driven by Roger. It's one of only 700 ever made in the United States.
Following that, car number 19 is a 1961 Cadillac Fleetwood, driven and owned by Don Recker, and Don likes to refer to his car as the Batmobile. Is it because there's a lot of, you're all batty people in there, or what? Takes one to know one.
Car number 20 is one of the most unsuccessful cars ever built, the 1959 Edsel Corvair. It was driven and owned by Sparky Brinkman from Ottoville. Thanks for coming, Spark.
And following that is a 1962 Imperial Crown, driven and owned by Thomas Mayberry, Columbus Grove, Ohio. Thanks for coming over, Tom. That's a very, very pretty car. Love those taillights.
The CYO is represented today from Ottoville. Thanks for coming over, guys.
And immediately following them are the King and Queen candidates from Ottoville. Becky, Brian, and Amy. Glad to have you guys come over.
And the first runner-ups from Darren Schimler and Jackie Hilvers from Ottoville.
And of course, the winner of the 1987 Ottoville Park King and Queen, King Larry Hung and Michelle Miller, the Queen. Thanks for coming over.
The Putnam County Junior Fair representatives, King and Queen, are here. King Mike Langhouse and Queen Ann Recker.
And another tractor is a 1934 Farmall F12, driven by Andy Schulte and owned by Paul Schulte of Ottawa, Ohio.
Tractor 103 is a 1947 Farmall Model M, driven by Jeff Schulte and owned by Ed Hermiller from Cloverdale.
And following them is our state representative, Lynn Watchman, riding in one of the Jeepsters from the Jeepsters in Grand Rapids, Ohio. Hi, Lynn. Nice to see you again.
Hi, Lynn.
Keep up the good work.
There's another Jeepster from Grand Rapids. Thanks for coming again this year.
I have a sister that lives close to Grand Rapids. Who cares, right? My name's Tim Wary. Her name is Anita Delger, and she's got the cutest little daughter named...
It's enough, Tim.
Okay.
Following that is another Jeepster from Grand Rapids, Bob Ladd, a Republican State Central Committee man. Thanks for coming, Bob.
Must have drank draft beer last night. And a few more Jeepsters coming through.
Thanks for coming again.
Enjoy the beautiful sunshine in those convertibles. My gosh, I wish I was driving in one of those today.
The 1987 Putnam County Pork Queen is Amy Vienencutter, and the Pork Princess is Tracy Mormon.
And immediately following them are the Putnam County Sledders Snowmobile Club. Good luck on a lot of snow this year. Everybody else but you guys don't want to see snow, but I'm certain you want to see a lot of snow. Beat the skids. And there's a few more Putnam County Sledders Snowmobile Club. Blah. There's going to have snowmobile grass drags on October 4th, 1987, 2 miles north of Mount Corey on Township Road 42. October 11th.
Car number 22 is a 1926 Chevrolet truck, driven and owned by John Williams and Earlene Williams from Delphus, Ohio. Thanks for coming.
And following that is car number 23, 1931 model Ford four-door sedan, driven by Richard Kuhlman and owned by Walter Sladen, New Bavaria.
And car number 24 is a 1928 Ford Touring Model A. The driver is Bill Gieske from Ayersville, and the owner is Walter Schuler from New Bavaria.
Following that is another 1930 Ford Roadster Model A, driven by Dennis Schuler of New Bavaria and owned by Walter Schuler, who is deceased.
The next float is the Lipsick JCs. Thank you very much for coming over today.
And I wish I could say it was immediately following, but it's not immediately. It's the Croc Creek Buckskinners. Crooked Creek. I'm sorry, Kevin. Thank you. Tractor was donated by Holmeyer and Sons. The way it was. And boy, am I glad it's not like that right now. You folks look really nice. This is how you celebrate the Pioneer Days. These are the Pioneer people. Thank you for coming over, folks.
Following the Buckskinners is some politicians advertising re-elect Niece for mayor from Kalida.
Also running for mayor is a man who doesn't have an opportunity to go through the parade because he is in charge of lining up all the floats and the vehicles for the 1987 Pioneer Parade, and he is, of course, John Phillips, who is also running for mayor. And following them is the Country Acres Golf Club Holiday Raffle of a 1987 Corvette convertible.
Hi, Jim. Following the Corvette is the Miller City Wildcat Marching Band.
Thank you very much, Miller City. And immediately following them is the Kalida Fire Department. Al Siebenek is the fire chief, and the first truck, number 4, is a 1976 Chevy Grasshopper.
Following truck 4 is truck 1, a 1979 Chevy Pumper.
Following truck number 1 is truck number 5, a 1968 Chevy Pumper.
truck number 2 is a 1983 Chevy van.
And it says on the side of the van, smoke detectors save lives, and I have to agree with that. In fact, I think in some cities you have to have a smoke detector in your house. Following truck number 2 is truck number 3, a 1985 GMC tanker.
And last but not least is truck number 6, the 1967 Dodge Heavy Rescue van.
The equipment van, the grasshopper, and the tanker were all purchased with funds raised at the Pioneer Days. We thank you for your support. Thank you very much. Truck number 6, the heavy rescue truck of the Kalida Fire Department, covers west side of Putnam County. The Ottawa Fire Department covers the east side of Putnam County. They're the only 2 units in the county that do that.
Following the fire department are cars from Umberfirth Motor Sales here in Kalida.
And
Umberfirth Motor Sales has a wide variety of cars and service available. Stop by and see Randy or Roger for a new or good used car. Their service department is open at convenient times. So remember, if thinking of a new car, stop and see the friendly people at Umberfirth Motor Sales here in Kalida.
Kevin, there was a truck and a van. It just wasn't a car.
I'm sorry.
Who isn't? And a few more vehicles, courtesy of the Umberfirth Motor Sales. And following the Umberfirth Motor Sales are the Queen contestants for this year. The winner, the new Queen, Michelle Avrish, and Tricia Sager and Marcy Bentley. And they're riding on the Kalida Volunteer Fire Department float.
Following the ladies is the 1986 Pioneer Queen, Renee Recker. The next car up, car number 26, is the 1969 Pontiac Firebird 350 convertible, driven and owned by Greg Moore from Van Wert. Thanks for coming, Greg.
Following that is car number 27, a 1929 Ford Tudor sedan, owned by Art Dooling, Ottawa, Ohio.
Car number 28 is a 1965 four-door hardtop Chrysler, owned by Irvin Miller from Columbus Grove, Ohio. Thanks for coming over.
Following that is a 1940 Chevrolet Special Deluxe, owned and operated by Roman and Patricia Eicholt, Continental, Ohio.
The 4th high school marching band to come through is the Fort Jennings Musketeer Band, under the direction of Jim Keller.
And following the Marching Musketeers is the Dr. Pepper truck from the RKO Bottlers in Lima, Ohio. It's such a sunny day today. Enjoy a Dr. Pepper, an ice cold Dr. Pepper, underneath a shade tree.
the Dr. Pepper truck is
Teens influential drug addiction, I guess. I can't really read it.
Fortman's Auto and RV Sales.
Here in Kalida, Ohio. Lear, don't let your truck go topless. Fortman's Auto and RV in Kalida, Ohio. Enjoy God's creation through camping with Jayco. Again, the Fortman's Auto and RV Incorporated here in Kalida, Ohio, owned and operated by Mark and Carl Fortman.
Representing the Columbus Grove Fire Department is a 1968 Dodge Grasshopper. The chief of the Columbus Grove Fire Department is Leonard Hefner. The Columbus Grove Pleasant Township Fire Department was the Northwest Association Bowling Champions. Round of applause for them. Team number 2. For 2 years out of the last 3. Fantastic, guys. Here's another pumper from the Columbus Grove Fire Department.
John Deere. That's right. Following that is a 1942 John Deere Model B, driven and owned by Dan Schimler, Fort Jennings, Ohio. And on the back of that is the Witt log saw, owned by Don Schimler also.
Following that is a 1919 Ruscrum Model G Robert Druneman. Thanks for coming over.
Following that is the 1987 Putnam County Junior Miss, Tammy Morrison. Tammy is a freshman at Ohio Northern in Ada, and the Junior Miss is sponsored by the Union Bank and the Iota Omega sorority here in Kalida, Ohio.
Following that are cars of Bellman Ford Mercury in Ottawa, Ohio.
And a few more vehicles brought over by Bellman Ford Mercury in Ottawa, Ohio. Following that is the Middle Point Fire Department. Their unit is a 1956 Ford pumper. Fire chief is Dwayne Snyder.
Car number 30 is the classic, a 1968 Plymouth Roadrunner, driven by Shane Eicholt and also owned by Shane.
Following that, car number 31 is a 1930 Ford Model A, driven by Elmer Ellabrook, who also owns the vehicle. I love the rumble seat.
Car number 32 is a 1955 Oldsmobile Model 88, driven and owned by Glenn Miller from Defiance. Thanks for coming over, guide.
Following that is a 1964 Chevrolet Chevelle Malibu SS. Driver's name Alan Nieder and owned by Richard Kaufman. Lipsick, Ohio. Oh, Al Kreidler. Nice to see you, Al. As soon as I saw who it was, then I knew how to pronounce your name.
Car number 34 is a 1955 Coupe de Ville Cadillac, driven and owned by Delbert Schob.
Following that are the miniature horses, sponsored by the Kalida Telephone Company, owned by Dewell Acres, Columbus Grove, driven by Kip McDowell and his father, Bob McDowell. The mares Mindy and Margot are approximately 30 inches tall. Their coats are 5 months old. Their colts are 5 months old.
I have a representative today from Honebrink Excavating in Ottawa, Ohio. Thank you for coming over and participating this year.
Following them is a Ford Mustang, sponsored by the A&B Styling Center here in Kalida, Ohio. They say it's the ultimate haircut.
And here's Dick's Restaurant for barbecue ribs and chicken and pizza steak after the parade. Stop in at the hangar at Dick's Steakhouse in Kalida.
Following that is Sarki Electric, plumbing, heating, air conditioning, and refrigeration, owned and operated by Bob Sarki.
Following Sarkis Electric is Hayden's Towing from Lima, Ohio. Thanks for coming over.
Following that is the Buckrath Builders, also here in Kalida, Ohio, owned by and operated by Dick Buckrath.
Representing the Miller City Fire Department is a 1975 pumper. The chief of the Miller City Fire Department is James Clayman. Thanks for coming.
Following that is Manley's Tables and Chairs, Dick and Janet Manley. You can rent your chairs from Dick and Janet Manley. They have sales between roads 19 and 20 in Fort Jennings, Ohio.
I have a special announcement here. Mary Huffman is to call 488-3911. Mary Huffman, you are to call 488-3911.
If you can't remember the number, just stop up here at the stand and we'll give you the message. Following that is a Kenworth truck, Ed's Automotive in Lipsick, Ohio. Local and long distance towing. That's a big one.
Ed's Automotive has 24-hour wrecker service also.
Another truck from Ed's Automotive in Lipsick, Ohio, is a flatbed truck. It's a rollback, they say.
Car 36 is a 1930 Diamond Model T, completely redone. The driver is Ned Kreinbrink and the owner is Dan Klausing from Spencerville.
Car 37 is a 1966 Pontiac GTO, completely restored with 200 actual miles on it. Driver's name and the owner is Dan Klausing, Spencerville, Ohio.
Car 38 is a 1962 Thunderbird Ford, driven and owned by Greg Miller.
Following that is car 39, a 1964 Chevy Impala convertible, driven by Steve Erickson and owned by Ruby Erickson from Vaughnsville.
The fire department from Oakwood is represented by a 1985 Ford Brush and Heavy Rescue truck. The chief of the Oakwood Fire Department is Ron Eakin.
Immediately following that is the Forever Summer Tanning Salon here in Kalida, Ohio. Exercise for good health. Tan and exercise. But not at the same time.
The Veterans of Foreign Wars float is next. Many years of service, Auxiliary Post 9648 from Columbus Grove.
Immediately following that is Kenevi and Sons Plumbing and Heating here in Kalida, Ohio. Winter's coming, call. That kind of looks like the owner's son, Ron. Pennies from heaven.
Following Kenevi's is Bearhoff Brothers Workshop, wooden lawn ornaments.
Immediately following that is the Kratzonville, Ohio Town Council. Jack Daniels, Mayor.
You know, Tim, I wouldn't be caught dead in that thing. Representing the Delphus Fire Department is a 1962 1,000-gallon per minute pumper, Seagrove. The chief is Donald Schimmeler. Remember the Delphus Canal Days, September 17th to the 20th.
Immediately following that is car number 40, a 1936 Chevy two-door, driven and owned by Joe Klein, Fort Jennings, Ohio. I don't know how much longer my voice is going to last. Kevin may finish the parade himself.
Car number 41 is a 1967 Oldsmobile Model 442, driven by Scott Schmitz. Owners are Joe Horseman and Scott Schmitz from Cloverdale.
42 is a 1938 Ford truck, driven and owned by Gary Gudikins, Fort Jennings, Ohio.
The tap room is represented. Get your tailgate party supplies at the tap room here in Kalida, Ohio.
If I'm not mistaken, that's John Remlinger's boat that they're pulling. He wants to own it then. Following them is Michelle Dunn, the first place runner-up of the Putnam County Miss Teen pageant, and following her is Shonda Bartley, the second runner-up to the Miss Teen pageant. Michelle is from Ottawa and Shonda is from Continental, Ohio.
It's a float with Crow's corn. Our moms make lots of milk with Crow's corn.
Following them is the Umberfirth Manufacturing Float, one of the prettier floats, I have to say, this year, sponsoring much freedom for all of us.
The Spencerville Fire Department is represented by a 1949 Ford pumper. Chief of the Spencerville Fire Department is Paul Lee.
Don't get excited, folks. The parade's not over yet. Don't lose your seat. I just don't think the guys could get that pumper up the hill coming off of Water Street.
This is an 1859 hand-pulled pumper from the Spencerville Fire Department. Looks like they're trying to get to a fire, Tim.
Are you guys in a hurry? Following that is car number 43, a 1941 Ford four-door sedan. Terry Oliver is the owner and driver from Ottawa.
Truck number 44 is a 1953 Ford pickup, driven and owned by Kevin Fisher from Ottawa.
I guess. Following them is Ben Brees, Harley Davidson, Ottawa, Ohio. Harley Davidson, one of the true fine domestic motorcycles manufactured here in the United States. Thank you guys for coming over. Harley Davidson. Very nice machines. Thank you, folks.
There's Ben Brees bringing up the rear. Car number 45 is a 1955 Chevy Bel Air, driven and owned by Jerry Colley from Columbus Grove.
Following that is a 1969 Plymouth Roadrunner convertible, owned and driven by Mike Girding, Glandorf, Ohio. Hi, John. Glad to see you here.
It's a float by the Columbus Grove Skateland, just outside of Columbus Grove. The Grove Skateland is located on Route 65.
Is that the San Diego Chicken? Are you related to the San Diego Chicken? The parade's still not over. There just seems to be a lull every now and then. I don't know what the deal is. They never tell us anything. Following them is the Coke video van with max headroom in the back. I wish I could talk like Max. What do you think, Kev?
I don't know, Tim.
Enjoy a Coke on this warm September Sunday afternoon.
Following Max Headroom is Colley and Langhouse. Ready Mix Incorporated Building Supplies in Kalida and Ottawa.
You think that horn can be any louder? Following that is the Gilboa Fire Department, Blanchard Township. Their truck is a 1979 Chevy. Fire Chief Jerry Steinman.
We have a 1947 John Deere tractor pulling John Schrader Welding and Brazing in Ottawa.
Following them is D's Ceramic Gift Shop, Cloverdale, Ohio. Owner D. Snipke. Thanks for coming over, D.
Next up is Nice Tree Service and Stump Removal in Miller City. Thanks for coming over, guys.
Following that is the Ottawa Fire Department. It's a 1941 Seagraves. Fire chief's name is Roger Trinkamp. Thanks for coming over, Ottawa. I gotta think, though, they've got a little bit more modern fire equipment over in Ottawa than that. I think there it is. Thanks for coming over, guys.
Following the Ottawa Fire Department is All Seasons Truck Caps, located in Ottawa, Ohio.
And in case you can't see, you can probably hear sound wave.
Along with Soundway Road Group. We're here today about telling the fire truck sales and
Who needs an MC when you got a truck like that? I think that's probably a Mack truck from Defiance, Ohio.
Following that is representative from Ed Foreman Chevrolet Olds in Ottawa, Ohio, and has a few cars here this afternoon.
Hi, Moni. There's a Beretta GT and a Monte Carlo SS, both fine-looking vehicles. Following them is the Ottawa Lions Club. Thanks for coming over, Ottawa. The truck is compliments of Ed Foreman Chevy Olds, Ottawa.
Following the Lions Club, representatives from the Lipsick Fire Department. A 1947 International Pumper and Tanker. The Lipsick Fire Department Fire Chief, Robert Deach.
Following Lipsick is the Union Bank Company with Betsy Ross making the American flag. Thanks for coming over, Betsy. The Union Bank Company in Kalida and Columbus Grove. Following that is the Valvoline Go-Kart, sponsored by Drovers Napa here in Kalida. Also along with the Valvoline Go-Kart is a trampoline, also brought through the parade by Gerber's Auto Supply. Or Napa, excuse me. 7-year warranty on these trampolines. 7 years. Following that is Myers Auto Sales in Glandorf, Ohio, selling Michelin tires. And I know who the Michelin Man is. Glad to have you over here, Susie Meyer. The Michelin Man.
The Continental Fire Department is represented by a 1937 Ford. The fire chief of the Continental Fire Department is Walter Jack Good.
right now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have to ask the parents to please grab their kids and pull them back from the street a little bit. We don't want to get anybody hurt. Please step back away from the street, kids. Not quite so far out. We don't want anybody hurt. Following that, we have a Minneapolis Mown Lean R tractor. I'm going to guess that to be about a 1962, Kev.
I believe so. Representing Metzger Brothers in Fort Jennings, Ohio. In the country where the farmers are.
They said it's a 57. Missed it by that much.
Today happens to be Grandparents' Day, and who better to represent that is Quality Care Nursing Centers. The 1986 Dodge van equipped with hydraulic wheel and chairlift. They've taken over 70 trips since acquiring the van. We really appreciate them coming today. Thank you very much.
That's a plug for Grandparents' Day. Don't forget to send a card tomorrow in the mail. Following the Quality Care Nursing Home van is the Radaball Incorporated, Pandora, Ohio. Radaball Trucking.
Those are some beautiful looking trucks, Tim.
That's for sure, Kevin. Here's another Radaball truck, a Mack truck that's all decked out and ready to go. Radaball Trucking in Pandora. One more Radaball truck. You guys really have them sharp, really polished and sharp looking today. Thank you for coming over. They look great.
Representing the Fort Jennings Fire Department is a 1981 Chevy. The Fort Jennings Fire Department Chief is Roger Breaker. Let's not forget this afternoon, after the parade from 3 to 6 p.m., Soundwave will be blasting away at the dance tent.
Don't forget, parents, please grab a hold of your kids. Don't let them get too far out on the street. We don't want to have any accidents this afternoon. Talk to me. Following that is the Ottawa Feed and Grain filler truck. If you need any grain or any feed brought over to your farm, call the Ottawa Feed and Grain truck in Ottawa, Ohio.
Representing the Pandora Fire Department, Riley Township, is a 1956 Howe Midship. The Pandora Fire Department Chief is Kevin Vance. Thanks for coming over.
I'm not real sure what this next thing is. Steele's Auto Wrecking. T-Bone Yard, whatever. Thanks for coming over, fellas. Following that is a Field Jimmy from the Carroll Elevator in Carroll, Ohio. There's a grove in the Columbus Grove. It's one of the branches. A Field Jimmy is used to spray herbicides on top of the soils in the springtime and fall.
The New Bavaria Fire Department is here today. The chief of the New Bavaria Fire Department is Walter Trinkamp. Here we have a 1981 4x4 International Front Mount Pumper.
Following that is the We Love You. And their entourage of horses, giraffes, and ostriches. And there's a reindeer. There's a red nose. It must be Rudolph. Where's Santa?
Also representing New Bavaria Fire Department is a 1979 Ford Louisville converted into a water tanker. Thanks for coming from New Bavaria this year.
Following the fire truck is the Fort Jennings Lions Club's float. Thank you very much for coming over, Fort Jennings. Very attractive float.
Says, ask not what you can do for the sheriff, but what the sheriff can do for you. Elect Morris for sheriff.
Representing Ottoville Fire Department is a 1929 International Pumper High Bender. And a little bit newer model for the Ottoville Fire Department, engine number 2. Thanks, Ottoville, for coming over. Hi, Terry. Thanks for coming over, guys.
And here again, as they always have been, are representatives from Hoagland, Indiana. The Hoagland, Indiana Oktoberfest for 1987 will be September 18th, 19th, and 20th. We thank you very much and have a successful Oktoberfest this year.
You'll probably see some of us over there. Following the Oktoberfest is the Kalida Motors, owned and operated by Carl Vorst and his sons Joe and Fish. Also along with that is Big Daddy's Towing in Lima, Ohio. They're also part of the Kalida Towing, Kalida Motors. From the Farmer's Elevator in New Bavaria, Ohio, another Phil Jimmy. And there's a fertilizer spreader. I'm assuming it's from New Bavaria and the Farmer's Elevator, New Bavaria also. Get your fertilizer spread by New Bavaria.
There's a Mack truck owned by Westrake's Bill and Deb, Pleasant Bend.
At this time, it's leased to the Farmer's Elevator in New Bavaria, Ohio. There's a grain truck, but I don't know. Where are you guys from, grain truck? They're from Ohio. That's all we know for sure. It's a grain truck from Ohio. So if you got grain in Ohio, get them to truck it. Go ahead.
Here is a 3/4 size dimension replica of the tank that's built at General Dynamics, the Lima Tank Plant Chapter, National Management Association. Labor and management working together. We thank Casper Weinberger for providing that for us today.
You sure Ollie North didn't have something to do with that? Following that is the representatives from the Glandorf Fire Department. First is the Chief's car. It's a 1979 Ford, and it's towing a log cabin which is built by the firemen as a fundraiser. You can win this little 8x8 log cabin, benefit of the Glandorf Fire Department. Drawing is September 28th, 1987. Donation $1 or 6 for $5. Also part of the Glandorf Fire Department is truck number 5, which is a 1980 GMC Grasshopper. It's a brush buggy. Is there a difference between a brush buggy and a grasshopper?
About $10,000.
Kevin says about $10,000. Truck number 2 from the Glandorf Fire Department is a Ford, a 76, pumper. The fire chief is Kenny Meyer. Thanks for coming over, guys. Also from Glandorf, they must have emptied out the building today. Truck number 6, a GMC 69 van, Glandorf Corporation, Greensburg Township, and the Ottawa Township.
And Tim, following the Glandorf Fire Department is E&R Trailer Sales and Service in Middle Point, Ohio. Thanks for coming over. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Good. Following that is the rendition from the Holgate Fire Department. It's a 1986 Ford Pierce pumper, and it can shoot 1,000 gallons per minute. That'll put out one heck of a hot spot. The fire chief is Jim Kesselmeyer. Hi, Greg. Nice to see you here this afternoon. Is that your lovely wife next to you?
And the queen of the Jewel Volunteer Fire Department this year is Judy Kuhn. Along with the Jewel Richland Township Fire Department is a 1953 Ford Seagrave. The chief of the Jewel Fire Department is Jerry Chase.
Next we have the Defiance Emergency Management Truck.
See Dick Berkemeyer for construction work, houses, pole barns, farm buildings. See Dick for your next construction job.
And following that is the Village Idiots. Thank you guys for coming over. They make it here every year, and they're a great asset to the Pioneer Days Parade. Following them is a tractor and a manure spreader from Nienberg Supply in Glandorf, Ohio. The tractor is a 1987 Field Boss with a 1045 GA loader on the front. We stand behind our machinery, except this one. Also from Nienberg Supply Company in Glandorf, Ohio is a grain hauling truck. Following Nienberg is a Field Jimmy from Glandorf, Ohio. I think you can get a lot of acres sprayed in a hurry with something like that.
For auctioning and equipment sales, see Siefkers, 1 mile west of Glandorf on Road K, buying and selling quality used farm equipment.
On the trailer is a 5-bottom plow that looks like it's about a 16-inch plow that they must be wanting to sell.
Here's some beautiful horses, Tim. Putnam County Easy Riders.
I can tell we're getting to the end of the parade, Kevin. The horses are here.
That's right.
Nobody wants to follow the horses. I think it's because they spit too much.
We have some cars and trucks from H&K Motor Sales. In Continental, H&K Motor Sales offers 3 fine locations in the area for new cars and used cars. Located in Continental, Paulding, and Leipzig. See Ronnie and Tommy Winkle, the guys to see for good or new cars. That's H&K Motor Sales in Continental, Paulding, and Leipzig.
H&K Chevrolet. And following is Kleppers from Lima, Ohio. Our sponsor for the car show yesterday, and Old Milwaukee Beer. Hi, Bruce. Good, don't you do that to us, Bruce. Don't you do that to us. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Kleppers. Glad you guys could make it.
Along with the Old Milwaukee Light is a 1968 Camaro.
I tell you, Kevin, some of these people can't get enough of this parade. This is the second time through for the Burton Bernie's Black Angus float with 92 Zoo and the world famous Spuds McKenzie. And ending up the parade is the Ronald McDonald House. The friends of them, they were through before and they're going to the fire station to have a benefit raffle. They really do a lot of good things for people in need. The Ronald McDonald House, please, please help support these people.
Well, another Pioneer Days parade comes to a close. We wish to thank all of you for coming to the parade and hope you enjoy the food, rides, and friendship that makes Pioneer special. Don't forget to stop at the big ticket booth located on the square to purchase tickets for the drawing tonight at 9 p.m. 6 for $5 or $1 a piece. So if you want to have a chance again at winning the $2,500 given away tonight at 9 p.m., please stop at the big ticket booth.
And one final note, or two final notes. Again, I'd like to remind you about the local athletic boosters club that's going to be started up here in Kalida. They're going to have a meeting on Tuesday, September 15th at 7:30 in the high school library. Anyone interested, please come to the meeting. I think this will be the start of a good organization. And I'd like to remind everybody about the chicken barbecue on October 11th, sponsored by the Kalida EMS. You can dine from 11 o'clock in the morning till 6 o'clock at night at the Kalida Fire Station. Barbecued chicken, beans, slaw, coffee, or pop. Adults, $4. 12 and under, $2.50. Advance tickets are available. Thanks for your support.
Tim, we're out of here.
Thanks, Kevin. Thank you for helping me out. Good afternoon, everybody. Enjoy Pioneer.